everyone, I hope you're all happy, healthy and well, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hello, I'm Becca. I'm a third year criminology student at Swansea University and I make videos on my channel about adventure, Swansea Uni, living in Swansea, minimalism, all things like that. So if you're interested in that, make sure click that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. It's great to have you here. Without further hesitation, let's just get into the video.
Baby shampoo and come and save me. I've been missing lady luck ever since you started hating. I've been waking up.
I thought I'd kind of sit down and make this video because it's something I've been thinking about for quite a while and I kind of wanted to put my thoughts out there, and maybe some of you guys feel the same and it will make you feel a bit less alone in this whole process. So I think first of all it's important to touch on the positives that I've got out of uni because they far outweigh the negatives, and I think it's really important for me to sit down and chat about all the things I've absolutely loved at uni, because there has been a lot of things. I just want to put that out there. This whole experience for me has been such a good one, and I'm actually really sad to be graduating in June, but I know that, you know, the 3 years can only last so long, so I want to talk to you about the good things. In first year, I was really lucky that I lived with a girl I met in France. We did a season together in outdoors. I met her and we came to uni together, and we were lucky to be on the same floor. We requested that. Aside from her, I met 6 other lovely people, absolutely lovely people, and that first year for me was just so much fun. And the fact that I'm slightly older, I'm a mature student, made it almost even more fun for me because it was kind of breaking the norms of what you're meant to be doing at certain ages, and I was there just studying what I loved and having such a good time, meeting people, and it was just so much fun. We went out lots, we explored lots, we worked a lot. It was just a really nice year. I met so many different people and I threw myself in head first into anything I could. The first week of term there was a freshers fair and we went around every stall, and me and Ella signed up to so many things. We even ended up signing up to the RAF. Yeah, we literally signed up to everything, and we decided that we were going to go to snow riders, I was going to go to surf, I was going to join skate, and I actually wanted to do tons more, but I had to be a bit realistic and realise that I actually was studying a degree at the same time. So they were the 3 I picked, and from day one I went to all the snow riders meetups, I went to the dry slope, I ended up going on 3 ski trips and just having the absolute time of my life really. And I would definitely recommend anyone going to university, especially Swansea, to join the snow riders and to go on the ski trips, because for me those weeks were absolutely unforgettable. They were some of the best weeks of my life, those weeks, and it makes me really nostalgic and a bit sad to be looking back and thinking about those weeks, but I just have to take the good things from it. I have to think we had so much fun, and yes, it was sad because the last 2 trips have been cancelled, and I was on committee last year and the Easter trip did get cancelled. Obviously this Christmas trip has just been cancelled. It is hard, but we have an exit route out of lockdown now, and I know things are going to get better, and if you're looking at coming to uni in the next few years, or even if you're there now, I definitely recommend you to go on 1 ski trip before you leave. They are honestly so fun. Even if you cannot ski, it's so fine. It's just the environment of the sun, the mountains, the parties, the friends, the travels, the adventures, just that whole package. You honestly, I promise you will make friends for life through that, and I definitely encourage you to go on a ski trip if you haven't already, because they are some fun weeks. So that was kind of the route I took in first year in terms of like sports clubs and societies. There were tons more I wanted to join. I learned to skate, I learned to surf. The people I've met are just amazing, and I've made friends for life through those societies. So I definitely recommend, if you're joining uni, to just join every society you can, because you will be guaranteed to make friends through there. That's the societies wise. As for work wise, I worked so hard in first year. Honestly, I worked so hard, and the reason I worked hard was because I genuinely just loved the course so much, and I was so surprised at how different learning experience was from being at school and college, and how much freedom you had and how much respect you had as a student. It was just a really different experience to go somewhere where you're an adult and you're obviously paying to be there, but the lecturers talk to you on such a level that you're a respected individual in the campus life. I can't really explain that any differently, but for me the respect level was really nice, and the fact that everyone is there because they want to learn makes a huge difference to a learning environment. I just did all the work I could and I just loved it so much, and I didn't at all focus on the fact that you could just get 40% in your first year and pass the year, because for me I was having so much fun working hard, and I thought, why not? If I can work hard, why not work hard? And I just did, and I did really well in first year, and I'm proud of that, because I know it's easy to say, oh, it's just first year, it doesn't count, but you still have to pass. And for me, it set me up for the next 2 years, and it's probably one of the reasons that I've enabled myself to get first over these last 2 years, is because of my work set from day one was to do all the work, to not be late with anything, and to just contact the lecturers if I need help, and to keep on top of all my notes. And it's really helped me for the last 2 years, so I definitely recommend that. Even if you think you don't need the results in year one, I definitely recommend just working as hard as you can, because if you can work that hard, why wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, so that's work and societies. In year one, I lived in Penmine residence, and this was such a fun experience. And all the time I think back to the days in those halls, I feel like I was really young back then. And obviously I was a bit younger, but I wasn't that young. Just the carefree living we all had. I feel like in this video I'm saying a lot, oh, I can't really explain, but just that, it is just nostalgia. The feeling of sitting around those tables in our kitchen in first year, just getting to know each other and playing games, and all of us in our own individual walks of life having come together and just getting on was just great. And it's so rare in life you're placed in that environment, and I'd really recommend just to completely appreciate it at the time, because it's easy to think, oh, next year when I'm living with just my friends, or the year after when I'm living in a house, I can't wait for that. Just don't wish it away, because it's easy to wish it away because you think, oh, next year will be really fun, I can't wait to do this and do this and do this. But first year for me was so much fun, and the fact all the clubs were open and we had lots of evenings out and trips, and yeah, first year was really fun for me. Let's go on to second year. Second year, the workloads did step up. I didn't find it stepped up too much, but that was probably, like I said earlier, because I worked so hard in first year. In this year, I made my friendship group smaller, because in first year, my whole aim was kind of to meet as many people as I could and to embrace all the different opportunities the uni had. And I definitely recommend anyone to do that, but you do find that in your second year, you crunch down on work a bit more and you start to narrow down your friendship groups a little bit, and that's completely natural. You start to form deeper friendships with people, and you start to realise what sports and hobbies you really, really enjoy doing. Second year was super fun for me. I was on 2 committees. I was on the skate committee and I was on the snow riders committee, and this was a really nice position of responsibility. Obviously it was pretty sad when the Easter trip got cancelled, because we'd worked so hard for that moment and then it got cancelled, but it is what it is, and you do just adapt. I really enjoyed second year, even though half of it was taken up with the pandemic. And last March I moved in with my boyfriend's house and we had a blast. We did loads of games, we had just loads of movie days, and we went for lots of walks, and we did really fun activities, and obviously it helped because the sun was out, but that was a really fun time, and it was very different than I pictured. And part of me is sad that half of my second year was taken up by the pandemic, but like I said before, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do, so you may as well just embrace it and have a slight change of plan. And for us, that was just going from, you know, partying and socialising to playing board games and going on walks, and that was great too. They were both great, just for very different reasons. So that was second year. I actually really loved the modules in second year. It was when we started doing less kind of generic modules for our course, and we started doing more specific modules based on what we're interested in. So for me, it was less criminological theory and more, I did a homicide module, I did a social and environmental harms module, and these are all things that I'm really interested to maybe go into in the future. And I really, really enjoyed my course. I think that's kind of the underlying feeling the whole way through my course, is just how much I loved it. I always talk about my course, I always research about things, I go home to my parents and tell them all about it, and it is just because for me, a lot of my course is kind of modern day, relevant information to what we're living through. A lot of it's based on current, real issues, and this made it a really good course for me because I love talking about that. I love debating, and I love talking to people about modern day issues and things that affect us. So for me, my course was definitely one of my absolute favourite things about uni, and it's sad that I'm halfway through this term. I've got 5 weeks left, and I've had 5 weeks, crazily enough. I have no idea where that time's gone, but yeah, I've got 5 weeks left of learning stuff I absolutely adore, and that is a little bit sad for me, but I might go on and do a master's at some point in the future, and I know education's always there if you want to go back to it, so don't worry too much about the fact that you will finish your degree and just be kind of into the wide world. I definitely think getting experience, getting volunteering under your belt would be a great option, especially in the current job climate, but I just wouldn't overly worry about it, because I think it's really easy to overly worry about the future and not appreciate the current, the present, you know? So I really recommend doing that, and like I said time and time before, uni does go so fast, so don't wish it away, don't wish for a job, don't wish for after, because it will happen really quickly. I'm living proof of that. It is happening so fast. So anyway, let's go on to third year. So third year for me, obviously it was started in a pandemic, it's gonna finish in a pandemic, and I'm not gonna have the same level as some third years to going out and partying and seeing friends and doing all those clubs I did in first and second year. And yes, that is quite sad for me, because you only get to graduate once, and it seems at this point we may be still in lockdown, but it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it, and I know we'll come back in years to come for like reunions, and I'll still see all my friends because they're such a big part of my life from uni that I will definitely make an effort to see them all again. So yeah, it is what it is. My course is really interesting. Online learning is great. I obviously do miss learning on campus because there's that physical interaction with people, and you get a bit more response of putting your hand up and them speaking to you, and you get that emotional transaction a bit more than on Zoom. But my lecturers have gone so above and beyond to provide such a good experience on Zoom that I really can't fault them. They've been at the end of every email, they've been there on Zoom meetings for me. I could not fault a thing Swansea Uni has done in this time, because it's an unprecedented time for everyone, but they have just taken it upon themselves to produce the best learning experience for us, and I personally am just so grateful for that, because it was just such a worry of mine that COVID would strip us of our proper paid for content and our actual course material, but it just hasn't. We're gonna get a degree at the end of this, and I think it's gonna be quite a good one, because a lot of people don't have much else to do, so they are just working hard, and it is harder to motivate yourself, I won't lie, but at the end of this we can think, wow, we graduated in a pandemic. If that's not a reason to be proud of ourselves, I don't know what is. Yeah, that's a bit about my university experience and how I'm feeling. I'm excited to graduate, but I'm really gonna miss it. I'm really gonna miss my friends, I'm gonna miss my lecturers, and I've connected with them on LinkedIn and things, so I won't be too far away to connect with them again in the future if I need to, and I'm actually planning on staying in Swansea for the next year at least. So Swansea can't get rid of me that easily. But yeah, it is a nostalgic time, to say the least, to think that we, in just a few short months, will be graduates. We will have degrees. Especially for me, because I left my first uni after the year, and I never thought I'll go back to uni, ever. I used to spend hours telling people about how uni wasn't for me and how it's okay, I'll just get a job and I'll work, and it's fine, I don't need to go to uni. And here I am, sad about leaving for the second time after doing a 3-year course, and I always worried, would I continue, would I get the whole degree? What if I got there and I didn't make friends and I didn't fit in and I didn't like the workload and I didn't do all of this stuff and I would leave early? And that was always a fear of mine, and from the moment I stepped into Swansea Uni I just knew that wasn't going to happen. I knew I was going to be in it for the long run, and the support network I've got here and the friends and just the whole life I've built here is just, for me, perfect. And it's sad that it's coming to an end, but I'm going to stay in Swansea and I'm going to not leave it all behind so quickly, because this place has just been the best thing I've ever done for myself. You know, investing in yourself and investing in your learning and your education is something invaluable. Yes, we pay, but it's something that you'll never regret doing. At least I'm never going to regret it, because I would not have 70% of the friends I have now without coming here. And you always think that, oh well, maybe I'm the exception, maybe I won't make friends, maybe I won't have fun, maybe uni's not for me. And my previous uni, that was me. I'll 100% put that on the table. My previous uni, I didn't fit well in there, and I knew from kind of the second week in that I was going to do the year and leave. I knew that. And this place, I just have not. Swansea Uni has just, it's round me in and it doesn't want to let me go, and I don't want to let it go. So for anyone who is A, worried about coming to uni during a pandemic, or B, just worried about coming to uni at all and wondering whether it's right for them and wondering whether they'll fit in or enjoy the course, I just want to say this, that A, you never know unless you try, and I think that's really key. You could always come for a term, and if you don't like it for whatever reason you can leave, and I think that's really, really key. I just think that I'd rather just not have regrets, and I knew that if I'd gone through my life and not done this, I would have looked back and thought, but what if? And now looking back, because at the beginning obviously you can't look back, but now after the 3 years looking back, I am just so glad the series of events happened that I ended up here. And realistically, if I hadn't met my best friend Ella in France, I would not be in Swansea Uni, and I wouldn't have just spent the last 3 years of my life studying something I love, and it makes me almost emotional thinking about. But yeah, I've had the best time, and I hope that anyone who is thinking about coming to Swansea just throws themselves in, says yes, accepts the offer, and comes with an open mind and the enthusiasm to learn and willingness to throw yourself in at the deep end, and to sometimes sometimes turn up to meetings by yourself or go to sports clubs that you don't know anyone at. And I did that with sailing this year. I thought, third year, I've wanted to sail for the last few years, why not just join sailing? But I knew no one else who wanted to, so I just turned up to one of the socials one night. It was a fire at the beach and I knew no one, and it was dark and I wasn't even sure whether I was in the right place, and I was saying, hi guys, is this sailing? And I felt like an idiot, but then within 5 minutes everyone's saying, hi, like, how are you? It's so nice to meet you and we're so glad you're here. And everyone's in the same boat. Honestly, everyone just is in the same boat and wants to get to know each other, and you've got to remember that you're not an exception to any of this. People want to get to know you, they want to get to know each other. Yeah, that's my biggest tip, is just to throw yourself in there and to work hard, because you are at uni and you may as well work hard if you can work hard. So I think that's pretty much summed it all up for me. I'm just going to try and relish the last few months at uni, and I'm going to miss this place a whole lot. So much. So anyway, that's all for me for now. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, click subscribe for more, that little notification bell for more Swansea Uni videos in the future, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.